So tell us everything about the next season.
It's all about full frontal male nudity.
Okay.
That's where it is.
He was telling the truth. We're like miles away up in bed together.
Yes.
So we are waiting for that.
Yeah, nope. It's going to be the opening moments of season 2. It's remarkably hardcore for what is now an 8 o'clock show. But we're going for it.
Ratings win.
It's a ratings win. It's true.
Does the change of times will change some of the intricacies of family conflict?
I don't think so. When we got the email from NBC telling us we were at 8 o'clock, I'm not exaggerating. Literally the first email back was, but can we still be as violent as we were? And they said, yes, absolutely, we want you to be. And I'm also sort of an obstinate son of a bitch. And so for me, I react to an 8 o'clock time slot when my writers come in and they say, should we pull our punches? And I would say, no, I would like you to be more violent, thank you very much. And so I think we're reacting with, we're not changing anything, and if anything, I'm very committed to it being the same dangerous show, the same dangerous world that it always was.
You're dropping bombs on people. The militia's breaking up. You're bringing in new writers. Is this kind of a sort of a reset for the show?
Well, I think we're continuing. I mean, Monroe is still a villain. Our heroes are still sort of struggling to figure out how to be a family. I mean, a lot of the emotional storylines are all still there. But I wanted to sort of push through, let me start over, which is like, I'm probably the hardest person on season 1 that there is. And I think there was a lot of things we did right. I think there was a shitload that we did wrong. I really am aggressively after building a better machine for season 2 and really looking at what worked and what didn't work. If anyone knows the way I run shows, I'm very relentless about hearing how the fans feel and really reacting to that. And I feel like I have something to prove a little bit. And so for me, it was the simplicity of the season 1 storyline was limiting. Ultimately, was my analysis, because it was just about this kind of war, and it was just kind of, and then it was about, should we flip the light switch on or off, and should we turn it on, or should we turn it off? Here's why I want to turn it on. Here's why you shouldn't turn it on. And it was small in a way, and yet the canvas was so big. It almost had ADD, because we're going from town to town, and then we go to Atlanta, and I wanted to make a storyline, and frankly that was all because I really honestly thought going into season 1, like the search for Danny would sustain us, just like how in Supernatural the search for Dad, I was like, we did the search for Dad, we can do the search for Danny, but we're halfway through the season, I'm like, oh shit, no one's buying it, and so then I kind of scrambled a little bit, and then it became war, and then but I think the thing that we really did right is we pushed through all that story. We brought it to as hot as it could be. We got them to the place where they turned on the power. And even though it was scary for me, and even though I watched a lot of the episodes at the end of season 2, end of season 1, I was like, a lot of power in this show without power. Like, when the drone starts flying by, I'm like, who am I? and so, but it was really good to almost push through the looking glass on that and wrap that story. Because now we can get to a more interesting place. And so I'm really glad we did it, because they turned the power on, but just enough to destabilize the East Coast. And now there's no more power forever, and the tower is, basically not functioning, and that question is completely off the table, and we're back to a neo-primitive, dangerous world. And now we have this conspiracy of these guys who Randall worked for coming up from Cuba, these patriots, who even though they say they're America, they are not America. They're a very dangerous and insidious invasion of people who are wearing a Stars and Stripes mask. And we have them, and we have these warlords, and our heroes basically change the laws of physics in the tower, and so it becomes about America and God and being chosen, and still can this family stay together? So it's finding storylines that can unfold and that I know can sustain over a season. and be more interesting and be more provocative than just whether or not you should flip a light switch on. So we do all that, and then on top of that, it's this intimate focus. So it's like the right storylines with an intimate focus, because we're mostly staying in and around one town in Texas, where we can get to know people and dig into character. And so all the complaints for season 1, which was we didn't get to know the characters, we're not dug in enough in the concept, the storyline isn't unfolding in an interesting way. Like, these are things that we really listened to and really worked hard to build a better engine in season 2.